Welcome to Wyoming's Haunted History. This list of 10 is part of a playlist of gentle listening, spooky collections from across the USA. The screen fades to black so you can enjoy the stories without distractions if relaxing, studying or wanting to sleep. Please do consider a like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. First is the Occidental Hotel in Buffalo. Built in 1880, the Occidental Hotel started as a saloon, but soon became a notable hotspot, welcoming guests like Butch Cassidy and President Teddy Roosevelt. It's said that the daughter of an escort still haunts the building, and guests often claim to see or hear her during their stays. Those who see her describe a young girl in white with long flowing dark hair. She'll tap you on the shoulder while sitting at the bar, or move furniture around to get your attention. Haunting stories were common during some hotel renovations, with one contractor claiming to have seen a little girl in a nightdress standing in part of the hotel that was midway through demolition. Naturally scared that a young girl had wandered into the construction site, he followed her across 2x4s and concrete, where she disappeared as soon as he rounded a corner. Other contractors claimed to have heard the sound of spurs on the back stairs. At number 2, we have a ghost sailing ship. Since the mid-1800s, a Wyoming legend has spoken of a ghost ship sailing down the Platte River that serves as an omen of death. Known as the Ship of Death, it's said to appear when mist begins rolling along the river, forming into a bank of fog. Out of this fog sails the grey and dilapidated ghostly Ship of Death, manned by a phantom crew. When you see the ship, you'll see someone on the deck that you know, and that person will perish very soon. The first ever sighting of this omen of death occurred in 1826 to a trapper named Leon Webber. On the top deck, he saw the body of his fiancée lying on a piling on the deck. That same day, she passed away. Over the course of 40 years, 2 other sightings of the spectral ship occurred. Each time, the onlooker saw a loved one on the deck, and each time they died soon after. Third on our list is Fort Laramie National Historic Site. The site is best known as a stop for travellers along the Oregon, Mormon and California trails before it became a military post, but also for being in the popular 1970s computer game Oregon Trail. Another thing Fort Laramie is known for is its ghost sightings. Many visitors to the haunted fort claim to have seen a lady in green roaming around. The story says that she was the daughter of an agent of the fort. She left one day to go riding but never returned. You can also spot a cavalry officer completing his daily rituals around the grounds. I wonder if any of the ghosts died of dysentery. At number 4 is the Sheridan Inn in Sheridan. The inn was opened on May 27, 1893 by Buffalo Bill, who'd been a big part of the construction of it. It featured electric lights, 200 of them, but they were powered by a coal-fired threshing machine engine. At midnight, a steam whistle would sound to tell everyone to turn their lights off. Such charming characteristics are likely why one of its early employees and patrons, known as Miss Kate, is still there. In 1906, she moved into her room on the 3rd floor, where she spent the rest of her life. After she died in 1968, the inn underwent renovations, and a friend put her ashes in the wall of the room she'd lived in. More recently, her favourite chair has been placed next to that wall too. She's now the guardian of the inn. Some regular haunting-type experiences are reported in the hotel, such as doors opening or closing by themselves, lights turning on and off, and cold spots, but her room features moving cold spots, as though she's moving around, and footsteps are heard, perhaps Kate's, as she walks in that 3rd floor room. One person reported driving by the inn at 2 a.m. and saw that the 3rd floor windows were dark with the drapes closed. However, 30 minutes later, they drove by again, and this time all the lights were on and the drapes were open. The inn was obviously closed at that time of the night, and according to staff, there would not have been anyone on the 3rd floor during that time of the night. Halfway through this list we have the Irma Hotel in Cody. The hotel was a project built by Buffalo Bill Cody in 1902 and followed his involvement with the Sheridan Inn. He named it Irma after his daughter. It's one of the haunted places in Wyoming that boasts multiple friendly ghosts, and some say they've seen Buffalo Bill himself. Irma Cody herself is said to enjoy visiting guests in her old room. She'll rock forwards and back in her old rocking chair. Some guests have reported odd events, like the water turning on in their room, or their belongings mysteriously being moved while they sleep. Rooms 35 and 37 are most notable for experiences. with room 35 having a dresser drawer where guests can put pieces of paper with notes on about anything odd that happened to them during their stay. Another common report is of pictures slipping off mountain hooks but landing in places where they couldn't have just fallen. A Confederate soldier is thought to be behind many of the events. When he's seen, there's only his lower half that manifests, but that does include his sword and his uniform trousers that can be seen. Spot number 6 is the Miners and Stockmen's Steakhouse and Spirits in Hartville. Miners and Stockmen's was built in 1862 and is known as the oldest bar in Wyoming. This haunted place has witnessed shootouts, prohibition, and multiple renovations. It's a little strange for a haunted location in that there isn't one particular ghost who haunts it, no names of people it could be, or thoughts about who actually stayed around after they died. Instead, things simply happen that point to a haunting. The piano may play on its own accord, or you could hear boots shuffling behind you. The lights have also been known to flicker. In a way, it's perhaps even more disconcerting because nobody knows who's doing those things. At number 7 is the Old Faithful Inn in Yellowstone. Though it's got many ghost stories attached to it, Yellowstone's most famous spectre is the Headless Bride who haunts the Old Faithful Inn. According to legend, the bride was a rebellious teen in life who rejected the arranged marriage set up by her wealthy father and instead wanted to marry a much older house servant. The father, who attempted to convince his daughter that the servant would only use her, made a condition of their marriage that the couple receive no financial assistance other than her dowry, hoping to scare the servant off. That didn't work. The couple honeymooned at the Old Faithful Inn, where the girl's new husband wasted the entire dowry gambling and became violent. He then disappeared when the money ran out. Hotel staff found the girl's dead body left in the bathtub and her severed head at the top of the hotel's crow's nest. Over the years, her ghost, dressed in white, has been seen descending the crow's nest stairs with her head under her arm. Spot number 8 is the Virginian Hotel in Medicine Bow. The hotel dates to 1911 and is rich with antiques, history, and wonderful Western Victorian decor. It's not a modern hotel in any way, shape, or form, still rustic according to modern standards, which can disappoint travellers expecting all the bells and whistles of typical modern hotels. But that does set it up for the ghostly reported events there. A woman in beige haunts the place. Apparently, she was waiting in the hotel for her fiancé to arrive from the east. When he didn't turn up, she jumped out of her third-story room window. Looking up at that window at night, you might see her. Old-time music has been heard in the hotel, and the restaurant area has an unofficial helper who likes to move things around. At number 9 is Wunderbar in Casper. Founded in 1914, the building used to be a horse-friendly cowboy pool hall. It then went through a few different identities before becoming the Wunderbar in the 1930s. Ghostly encounters include numerous employees feeling pushed by unseen forces, footsteps upstairs when the building was empty, eerie orange and yellow glowing lights, and glasses falling off the bar. One bartender saw what he called a white misty thing and ran. The bar was sold and renovated in 2017, reopening as the Wunderbar once again. During those renovations, a child would be seen running up and down a hallway. TVs would switch off and then pop back on again after 5 minutes, and strange noises would be heard all over the building. Finally, a bit of fun to end all of these lists for the whole of the USA, in the form of the Wyoming Ghostbusters. This highly professional and polished Ghostbuster duo works out of all places Fort Danger near Casper. What an address! The duo do look suspiciously like a father and his 5-year-old daughter. If you're driving somewhere in Wyoming and you see what looks like a black Ghostbusters vehicle driving by you, you might take a double take. You might hear a distinctive sound too. It has the same Ghostbuster siren from the movies, along with flashing lights much like a cop car. And actually, it was a cop car at one time, a Ford Crown Victoria. Logos were added, it got tricked out with gadgets, and the daughter's lunchbox looks like it doubles up as a Ghostbusters Proton backpack. So if you need spooks in the area to be gone, well, who are you going to call? You might want to take down the phone number on the back of the car. In the classic Hollywood tradition of using a non-existent area code, it's 555-2368. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Wyoming's haunted places, and thank you very much if you've listened all the way through the 50 states. I'll hope to catch you in other Spirit Investigations videos. Cheerio.